Aloha, Richard Halverson here, and this is ICS321 summertime 2020. And so this is the first video, and I'd like to just go over the course, just so you know policies and what you're going to be expected of you, and what you're going to learn, and so on. So I'm sharing my screen here. And if you go to Laulima, you should be able to see this now. Click on Overview, and this is the syllabus. And this class goes until August 14th. And whenever we do anything, it's going to be in the Zoom classroom ID, which I'm actually recording in right now. And what I will do is when I make my weekly recordings, I'll either let you know when I'm going to do them, or I'll let you know at the time I start to do them. And so you're welcome to chime in if you'd like, but you certainly don't have to. These are intended to be recordings for you to watch later. This is an asynchronous class, although I'm happy to have synchronous sessions with you anytime. This is my email address, Richard H., and this is my cell phone, and the best way to get a hold of me is text messaging, because then I get it right away. And then this is the graduate assistant who's helping out with the course, Bradley. The textbooks for the class, this is the main textbook. It's called Relational Theory for Computer Professionals. Looks like this. I actually, you can get the hardcover copy, which looks like this. It's pretty cheap. It's a good book. Easy to read. It's a kind of a textbook where you read the whole thing. It's not just like you read the first part of certain chapters and you pay a bunch of money for it. It's not like that. But anyway, this textbook takes an interesting approach because it already assumes you know how to. It already assumes that you're a programmer, so it assumes you know how to code. It assumes you know a language like Java or whatever language it is that you learn, that you know. Third year computer scientist student, exactly, but has not really ever written an SQL statement before. And so it starts by teaching you like the coming at you with ICS321 discrete math kind of concepts, and this relational theory or this relational algebra is all that kind of math. And and then it eases you into SQL later on, so you can have a good foundation of what the intention of SQL is supposed to accomplish, and also you do end up with a much deeper understanding of SQL and the kinds of things that you can do, like embed expressions and so on. But anyway, we're going to go through about the first 10 chapters of this, and honestly, chapters 11 through 14 have more to do with actual SQL concepts of the earlier chapters, and we're going to have to parallel learning SQL along with the earlier chapters anyway. So you'll see how that goes. This second textbook here is the same author, and there's just a few chapters out of there. It has to do with a couple of normal forms, which I think are important, which aren't really covered in the first textbook, but it's optional. So there's like three ways of getting the information out of the textbooks. There's the textbooks themselves, and then there are slides. Like for the first textbook, the slides are available that go right along with the chapters. And then there's also videos. Each chapter is a video, has some videos that go along with it. Oops, I didn't mean to. Here, for the textbook, chapter 1 is covered in these first two videos, and chapter 2 in these 3 videos, and chapter 3 in these 3 videos, and so on. And so this is meant to be a seminar type course over about 20 hours or so, and So so you can, and the videos cover everything that's in the chapter. So anyway, uh, so there's the slides in the videos, and he goes through the slides in the videos, so it's helpful. So that's the textbooks, those textbooks, and then there's some stuff on data storage that we should cover in this course that neither of these textbooks cover. I've got a couple of study.com modules that I've set up. And so you can go to study.com and you just enter in this code, and you don't have to pay or anything, but you enter in this code. I'm the one that pays. And then you end up you're able to take these little 8-minute modules. And these are a bunch of little, like there's a chapter on data storage, and there's a chapter on databases. But like, so this is the first chapter. It's you watch a little 5-minute video on how computers store data, or you can just read this. It's the same material. It's kind of almost word for word. And then at the end, you take a little quiz, and it's a 5-question quiz, and you can take it like 3 times, until you get all the points right, and it gives you the questions right here. You can always go back, make sure you got the right answers, and so on. It's a real easy game-like way of learning these concepts, and they're real quick, and this is compatible on your phone, so you're riding the bus or whatever. So that's these study.com modules, and then also I'm looking at actually replacing the study.com modules with this other book called this other database textbook by a company called ZY Books or Zybooks, and that looks like this. So this is chapter. Let's see. Let's go to. Let's see. Like this is my Zybooks library. This is the textbook right here, and so there's a bunch of chapters. There's 8 or 10. This book isn't complete, and so we are gonna, in this class, we get to use this textbook for free because it's not quite done yet, and I'm adapting it for future classes. So I'm gonna and there's all kinds of interesting ways of evaluating, of assessing your work. Like for example, how much time you spend on each page and so on. And, so you're actually able to get to score how well you how well you read the pages. There's simple little quizzes that are easy to answer if you read along. It measures the time you spend and so on. So I'd like to see what those kind of scores look like. So the kinds of simple assignments, and by the way, let's take a quick look at the grading breakdown. These Zybooks is just going to be like 10% of your grade. There's a weekly quiz. There's 12 weeks, so there's a weekly quiz which added up ends up being 20% of your grade. There are these SQL assignments that's going to be half your grade, and then those study.com quizzes. Those are pretty short, quick quizzes, and those are going to be 20% of your grade. And a lot of these study.com quizzes, you can just go right to the quizzes and try to take them first, and then see what you got wrong, because a lot of the stuff you know already. So there are the quizzes here. if we look at the week-by-week syllabus, you know, you're going to read a chapter out of a book. You're going to watch some videos if you want to. This is all reading, and then this is all the assessment stuff. So there's a quiz. There's a quiz every week, and there's these study.com quizzes, which I sort of spread out, and then there's the assignments. Now, uh, I don't really have hard due dates. Okay, if you look at the grade book, these quizzes are basically all due at the end, and I put the due dates one day apart just so they get ordered correctly. But you notice this is the end of the semester, and you can still take the quiz after these due dates. But if you haven't, but if you take them before the due dates, you get up to 3 chances. But after the due dates, you only get 1 chance. So that's how you lose by not getting it done by the due dates. Everything's got to be done by the last day of class, which is August 14th. Same with these assignments. These assignments are these are dates after which we are going to start entering grades for them. But almost all of the assignments are auto graded, and what that means is that all the grading is going to happen the last week of class. So really, you can figure out your own schedule for doing all these things, because there's not really going to be any hard due dates before like the last week of class. But we are going to start entering in grades after these quiz grades get entered in automatically. You take the quizzes and they get entered in. These assignments we have to go and you're going to be doing these assignments on a server that will be issued to you, and the grading is also pretty much automatic. Let's look at the let's go down the line here and look at what other folders are in the Lima. The videos, like for example, this one is going to be popped into this folder here. There's previous semester's videos. These are actually just files that go along with the quizzes and the images and so on. Textbook materials is this is where the videos for the textbooks are, the videos, and then these are where the slides are. For assignments, no, let's do quizzes. For quizzes, there are 12 quizzes, and they're all posted right now. And they're here, for example, I just happen to have one up over here. This is the first quiz. The quizzes are, when you take the quizzes, it's one question at a time. But this is the the instructor's page. This is a page that I can see, and it shows all the questions on one page. And you see that the first 4 questions have to do with controls, data controls, and this is covered in chapter 1. And but here. These 2 questions here have more than one correct answer, so they're check boxes. Okay, so and a lot of these quizzes have multiple answers. So let's see. So for example, I have questions that have multiple answers. So if we look, for example, at I don't know, let's look at one that's way in the future. If I look at that quiz, we see that I give you a table here, and here, this is just selecting one, selecting one, selecting one, selecting one, selecting one. I think one of them. This is where this says here you have to select more than one for the correct answer. But anyway, so and these quizzes come from the textbooks, so you can you probably could just watch the videos and then you should be able to answer the quizzes, and they aren't quite synchronized with what you're assigned to watch that week, but you will. So some of the quizzes come later. Okay, like we're still talking about functional dependencies back up here. We learned that back up here, and we have quizzes down here, and so on. All right. So now the assignments. There's going to be 7 assignments, and for these assignments, these are where you're going to learn how to create databases and how to normalize databases and how to write SQL. And so the first assignment is you're going to set up your server. Everybody right now has a server, and so it's something like, mine is something like my email address is Richard H, and so it's whatever yours is, and then ICS321.com. Okay, it's so it's already been set up for you, unless you just registered for the class today. And so everyone's got their own server, and then you're going to go to like the cPanel, and you're going to go in here, and you're going to log in, and I tell you what your login and password is, and then you're going to go in here, and you're going to create some databases, and you're going to create some databases for your assignments. I've been doing some of the assignments already, and then you can go in and mess with the databases and add tables and so on. So you're going to be using these 2 apps that I just showed you, and I'm doing the first 2 assignments here. In your cPanel, you're going to be using this one, Databases app, to create databases and to create users for databases, and you're going to use this one to manipulate the databases, to add tables and so on, and to test out your SQL statements and so on. And then the file manager, this is a server, so the file manager is you're going to be able to put programs, PHP programs that access your database. So this first one, I tell you how to get to your database. I tell you what your password is. Like, this is your 8-digit UHID. This is your last name, first name. So mine's HR, and the H is capitalized because my name is Richard Halverson. And then these 3 characters at the end. And then you log. The first thing I ask you to do is to do this, and that way it defaults to the HTTPS when people are going to your server. Okay. Then what I want you to do is to create a database, and I'll have a video on this. You aren't going to see this assignment for 2 more weeks. I'm going to have videos. In fact, I might already have a video. Okay, I do kind of have a video right here, a short video on how to turn this into a table in your database. So I've already done it, and so I've got the 3 tables here, and this is the P table, and so on. This table, so on. Anyway, so that's this assignment, and then I want you to do some manipulations to it, and then that's the end of the assignment. Easy. The next assignment is going to be more of similar stuff. You're going to create a database, and you're going to write some SQL stuff, write some SQL code. I give you the import for the database, and you're going to write some SQL code, and you're going to write some select statements, and you're going to enter the select statements into a website that'll tell you if you got it correct or not. So you'll see all that. I'll show you all that in a later video. So that's it. Those are what the assignments look like. If you go to the the schedule here, you can see when these assignments are sort of issued. Assignment 4, assignment 5, 6, 7, and so on. If you look at the grade book, you can see how the grades are sort of broken down. The quizzes are here. They're going to add up to, the weight is 20%. It's going to add, and I'll probably throw out a couple of them, throw out your two worst ones or something like that. And then your assignments go here, and the scores, you know, I'm just going to like go in and enter in the scores for people's assignments as I go to your website. The way I grade this, in case you're interested, this is the control panel for grading. And so, for example, for me, you know, I've been doing some stuff. So these are the tables that I've created already for. This is for assignment 2, and this is down here is for assignment 1. And then this grades the creating the database part of assignment 1, and I got all the points. And this grades the whether I've actually done the second part, those steps correctly. And on purpose, I did the first one not correct, and so it tells me that I got the first part of it wrong. I got the S table wrong, but I did get the SP table wrong, correct, and I got the P table correct. Anyway, so pretty much all of these are going to be auto-graded, or at least auto-assisted. There's some, you're going to be writing some triggers and some stored procedures, and those get kind of tricky to grade. But anyway, so I've given you an overview of the course, and try to do these assignments and quizzes according to the schedule. If you fall behind, this is a condensed course, and my assignments and quizzes are easy, or you want to say easy, you may want to say straightforward enough, so if you stick with it, you should be able to get all the points. But I do assign a lot of stuff, and so it's kind of like you do everything, you keep at it until you get everything pretty much correct, and then you get to earn the grade that you want. And usually people that don't get as good a grade in my courses, it's just because they just didn't have time to do the work. So so I will sign off here, and I'll be coming out with another video on more specifically what is going to be covered in the next week soon. Thanks for watching.